What I remember vividly about Manchester is how cold the winters used to be, and how the water was always freezing in the taps when you got up in the morning to go to school, and wearing shorts and not really wanting to because it was always freezing.
We didn't come from a very well-to-do background. You know, we come from the back streets of Manchester. We didn't have any training. We weren't born with silver spoons in our mouths, and we didn't go to universities of music and stuff. And so it was kind of a sort of street education. We sort of got our music from, just listening to the radio and testing it out on street corners.
The three of us have had the same way of thinking, the same mentality, the same sense of humour, the same love of music that we've always loved since we was 5 or 6, Robin and I, and Barry 9.
Here it is.
Robin, quite eccentric. Morris, always the man in the middle. Like the three Scouse brothers in Harry Enfield. There's always one of us going, stop arguing.
The front room. This was doubled up at first. This was my mum and dad's bedroom, chiefly, but it was also a room where we actually started doing harmony, 3-part harmony. When we first moved in, there was hardly any furniture in here, and it was a nice echo.
Dad used to have his drums set up in here, and he always used to have his back to the thing, and he'd be banging away on here. And his whole drum kit would be set up here, you see.
And Barry had his guitar for his birthday, and we actually all started breaking out in 3-part harmony in this room, which is for the first time for us. And that's my earliest memory of this room. So it's probably where we actually first started singing.
My father, yeah, always bringing great records home, and it was all instinctive. It wasn't a matter of looking at music or learning about it at school, although you did sing at assembly,
Excitement, actually, going up there, because it's been a long time since we were up there. I mean, it's like, I remember the entrance where we first stood by the wall and sang to the other kids. They didn't like us much, but we used to stand against that wall, tell jokes and sing.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small.
Well, we were sort of delinquents. I mean, we were always on the streets.
Yes, a spot of bother. It was kind of light-hearted stuff. Well, it wasn't really light-hearted stuff. It used to sort of, with a bit of firebugs, actually, used to go around and set fire to allotments and burn billboards down and things like that. And
No, I was a goody two-shoes. I was Mr. Perfect at school, And Robin and Barry always burnt down shops and billboards and things. I wouldn't. Oh, no, I couldn't do that.
We built a fire behind a set of billboards, and it took the whole lot down into the main road. And I remember us going to the baths to go swimming after we'd started the fire, and watching the police and the fire brigade and the crowds all filling out on the road and watching, and we just stood in the crowd and watched as well, and we were standing next to the policeman, and we said, "What's happened?" And the policeman said, "Don't worry, we'll get him," and we're standing next to him. So we were very defiant, not good kids, and I ended up in court and I got 2 years probation, and it was not good.
The Bee Gees' first formal public performance occurred as a result of an accident with a record.
You remember the Saturday afternoon matinee as well? In between the small films and the feature, the cinema owner would let you get up on stage and mime to a record.
This is the way we went through these alleyways when we first had a record we were going to lip sync. I think it was a Paul Anka record, although I'm not sure.
I think it was Tommy Steele, I think.
At the Gaumont Cinema, the first time we ever got on stage. Which is, just follow us, it's just down here.
it's interesting, because this is the first time I actually started to sing live.
Yep.
We never sang live before. Remember, we were little kids at the time.
Well, Morris and Robin were 6, and I was about 9.
Yeah. This is where the Bee Gees' actually singing career began. If it hadn't been for that broken record, we probably would have started singing, because we had to be in a desperate situation for this to happen. This is where we broke the record. It's historical for us. There's the Gaumont Theatre where we performed, which is now a funeral salon. And that was the theatre where we first sang as the Bee Gees, but not as the name the Bee Gees, were we Johnny Hayes and the Blue Cats.
No, we were the Rattlesnakes.
The Rattlesnakes. You're right. And that's it now, and that's where we broke the record, over there on this curve here.
I think it might have been my grandfather who heard us singing in the lounge and thought it was a record. And they came in, and there's the three of us sitting on the bed singing in 3-part harmony. And my father went, bong, what is this, And so from then on, he became devoutly sort of supportive of what we were doing, So he took us to the Russell Street Club. We did our first so-called evening live thing for the audience, which we got £0.50 for. And my goodness, they liked us, you know. So it sort of brings me up to the point where we emigrated.
Why did they go? Your father wasn't getting anywhere.
Just wasn't getting any work.
Yeah.
And I think the police actually said, you know, it'd be a really good idea if you could take these kids to another country.
Were you as bad as that, seriously?
Well, I don't think we... Well, I think it probably saved us from going to reform school.
The Gibb family quit Britain in 1958.